We had told the organization that I was allergic to latex, but we had not communicated that to the church. For some reason, we thought the organization would communicate that, but they didn't. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amanda, and if you're new here, this is a series all about mission trips. So something you might not know about me just by looking at me is that I have a pretty severe allergy. And I'm not talking about the type of allergies you get when the seasons change. I'm talking about when you think of an allergy, you think of someone who has the hives on their skin or the throat that closes. That's me. That's what I deal with. I'm allergic to a very specific latex protein that is not only found in a bunch of fruits and vegetables, but also in natural rubber latex. I have learned to navigate this allergy, and I've gotten pretty good at it over the last 20-ish years that I've dealt with it. I've had a lot of mission trips where I've had to trial and error my way through the trip with this allergy, and it's not fun. I get how scary it can be to go on a mission trip to a country that maybe you don't know the language when you deal with something like an allergy. No matter how much precaution I take, I still had to give that control to God. And it wasn't easy. I've had to learn exactly what I need to bring to feel safe on a trip and exactly what I need to give to God. For me, it took several mission trips to get to the point where I felt like I could trust that God would keep me safe. There was one time I was in Central America on a mission trip, and while I was there, I had done everything I could have to prepare for this trip. I had told my team about my allergy. I had told my team leader about my allergy. I even went as far as to call the airline to see if they used latex gloves inside their cabin for any reason. I literally did everything I could. I had an EpiPen, I had a mask, I had gloves, I had hand sanitizer. We had done everything we could have done in order for me to feel safe. It wasn't enough. So we pull up to the church where we were staying and we pile out of this bus. We're hot, we're sweaty, we're tired. I just want to eat some good pupusas and go to sleep. That's all I wanted. And the church that we were staying at decided to throw this huge celebration to welcome us in. We were the first team to come back since the pandemic had started. So they were very excited to see us. They had loud music playing, they were singing and dancing, they had streamers and banners, they had signs everywhere, they're blowing the party favors. It was this huge party. And then I noticed there were balloons everywhere. We had told the organization that I was allergic to latex, but we had not communicated that to the church. For some reason, we thought the organization would communicate that, but they didn't. So I stood outside this church while all of my team went inside, joined in the celebration, danced and sang. And for just a moment, I felt so isolated. I was mad just for a minute at my body for not being able to be in that room. I was kind of mad at God for a second because I thought, why would he allow my body to be this way? I felt so othered in that moment. But then the still small voice of the Holy Spirit spoke to me and said, look how much they love you. And I look up and I see the American team and the national team popping all of the balloons and throwing them away. I saw them get out this giant mop and mop the floors. I saw the team pull out all of their hand sanitizing wipes and give them to everyone to scrub down the church. I was blown away in that moment to see how they took my allergy so seriously, and I didn't even have to say anything. Granted, I had told my team of my allergy. I had told the organization we were traveling with of the allergy, but the national team had no idea I had this allergy. But they saw the Americans cleaning up and they got involved and they made it so I could participate. And it was so beautiful. And I remember just walking into the church after it had all been cleaned and thinking, I could have walked into a celebration that didn't have any balloons and it would have been fun and fantastic. But this showed me even more how valuable I was to the team. While I stood outside the church and bobbed to the music, feeling slightly sorry for myself, the team noticed me. I didn't say that I was allergic. I didn't say I couldn't go inside, but they noticed me and they cleaned up. And not only did they just pop the balloons and throw them away, They scrubbed the floors. They washed down the doors. They cleaned themselves to make sure that there was no remnants of these balloons anywhere. And I'm reminded of that moment a lot. Whenever I feel sad or othered or upset about anything, I'm reminded that I was noticed in a group of people when I hadn't said anything. And it's a good reminder that if you ever feel scared to travel with some sort of ailment or injury or illness of some kind that makes you feel othered, that you can have an amazing team with you. You just have to be willing to be open to them to begin with and let them love you and let them show you that they care. It's such a beautiful, beautiful thing. I know that my story is not the same as maybe something you're dealing with, but I will encourage you that if you do want to go on a mission trip, but you're scared because you have a chronic illness or a severe allergy or something like that, that you can go. You just have to be willing to be a little bit vulnerable before you even leave on the trip. And that vulnerability can lead to amazing things on the trip. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. That allows me to know that you do enjoy this content and you want to see more of it. If you've ever had a situation while you're on a trip that you've had to advocate for yourself or someone else, why don't you go ahead and tell me that story down below. I'd love to hear if you've had some sort of unique situation that maybe could have stopped you from going on a trip, but you've been able to work through it with your community. I will see you guys next time. Bye. What are you doing?
There you go. There's your thumb. Oh, dude, look. I can see you through me.
That's sick. Where was I going with this? It was so good.